freed from the rubble after a 5-hour operation to get her out. This woman had been trapped for 60 hours in a collapsed hotel in Mandalay. The Chinese rescue team handed her over to an ambulance. Later in the night, the rescue team moved to this apartment block and were able to save a 5-year-old girl brought to the ground in a bulldozer bucket, and her mother.
We determined her location based on her knock-in sound, so we required full site silence to better identify the precise demolition depth needed to reach her.
But the window for surviving this is starting to close. At this monastery, also in Mandalay, the body of a monk was extracted from the ruins. The monks had been taking a religious exam when the quake hit. 50 have been found dead, 150 are missing. The military junta now says more than 2,000 people have been killed and has announced a week of national mourning. The 4-year civil war sparked when it seized power had already created a humanitarian crisis. Approaching 7 million children live in the regions hit by the earthquake. Save the Children says many are sleeping outdoors at risk of disease and abuse. And the charity questions the decision to cut the UK's foreign aid budget by around $6 billion a year.
The British government itself has also said that, by 2027, they, will be seriously reducing their aid package in order to invest in other areas, which includes, I think, defence. But I would say, please, really do think about things carefully and make sure that you put your hand in your governmental pocket and provide support to some of the most vulnerable children after one of the most shocking events that we've seen for years.
The UK government has announced it's sending £10 million worth of aid to the earthquake region, including food and water supplies, medicines and shelters. The Myanmar military reportedly carried out airstrikes against the resistance even after the earthquake. Human rights organisations fear the junta will weaponise aid and could block vital supplies from regions it doesn't control.
We do know that the epicentre of the earthquake was in an area where there had already been long-standing conflict, large displacement of people. So we've got real concerns as to whether aid is going to reach people in areas that we need it. And we are deeply worried that the military government may choose to use the significantly greater need for humanitarian aid and people who need to